do some makeup using an eyeshadow palette within my collection that I haven't used in a little while. This is part of a new series here on my channel, which is all about just using the makeup that you own, getting these products used, and hopefully trying not to be as tempted to buy some new makeup. So I am focusing on eyeshadow palettes within this challenge, and next up as part of this series is one of my newest, if not my newest, eyeshadow palette within my collection, which comes from Revolution. It's a dupe for ABH Sultry. That's why I bought it, because I really wanted Sultry within my collection, but it was a limited edition palette and this was the closest dupe that I could find. So it's by Revolution and it's called the Reloaded Hypnotic palette. Came in at £5 I think, but then I think I got a 10% discount, so even cheaper, £4.50. Now it is Revolution, and the quality of Revolution eyeshadow palettes are a little bit hit and miss, and this one unfortunately is a little bit more of a miss than a hit, and I think that's really part of the reason why I haven't used this palette that often. I think from memory the mattes are fine. I think the mattes blend pretty well. I think they're fairly pigmented, but it is the shimmers within this palette where it kind of falls down a bit, so I think you do need more of a sticky base behind it. Maybe apply it with your finger and not a brush. So I'm going to create an eyeshadow look today using solely the eyeshadows from within this palette, and then because it is me, obviously I'm going to be using the warm browns and beiges within this palette. So you're zoomed in nice and closely so you can see the eyeshadow look. If you're not a regular to my channel, hello, nice to have you here. I'm not a professional makeup artist, I'm just a makeup lover, but I'm moving more towards not such a minimalist makeup collection, but a minimalist-ish makeup collection. I've kind of come to the point where I don't need loads of products within my collection. I know what I like, I know what works for me. I'm not experimental or creative with makeup anymore at all. So I am not a professional, so please do not judge how nice or how not nice this eyeshadow look is going to come out, but this is all just about, like I say, using your makeup and getting these products out and about, playing with them, showing them a little bit of love. And this is MAC Paint Pot in Painterly that I'm just priming my eyelids with. So I always like to set my eyeshadow primer with a matte ivory shade, like a matte skin tone shade, so this is the one I'm going to use. Do just want to say my cat is asleep on the windowsill just there. He is a very loud breather, so if you are hearing any loud breathing sounds, it's not me, it's my cat. It's a really sunny day today, and that windowsill in the morning gets so much sun, and he just loves lying up there and soaking in all the sun. And he's a black cat as well, so he then gets like really hot afterwards. Alright, so let's have a little look at this palette then. Now with ABH Sultry, I think upon initial first look at it, obviously this isn't ABH Sultry, but it does look a little bit cool toned, but actually when you look a little bit closer, there's only a few cool tone shades within this palette. The majority of them are warm tone, so I think the only cool ones are like this one here, maybe this one, maybe this one, but yeah, the rest are all warm tones, and you do have a nice mixture in here between like some mattes and some shimmers. So let me have a little look and see what I want to do next. Crease shade next, I'm gonna go for this one. So yeah, this one seems to be applying fine. It's fairly pigmented, it's blending alright, it's fairly buttery, but we will see what happens when it comes to using some of the shimmers. Run some of that same brown under my lower lash line. Okay, let's darken up that outer V a little bit more. I'm going to take a little bit of that dark brown shade. There doesn't seem to be much of a kind of in-between shade between this one and the dark brown one. This dark brown I'd rather use as just a liner, but I would want something in the middle to kind of darken the outer V a little bit, but there doesn't seem to be that colour. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that dark brown and try and build it up. But actually saying that, there we go. Now I've got some pigment on. That's okay, that's okay. Yeah, it seems like you do need to dip into these mattes a few times to get enough pigment. But sometimes that's quite nice though, because if you use eyeshadow that's really pigmented, sometimes it's then really difficult to blend it out and to get a buildable look, whereas if you use an eyeshadow that isn't that pigmented, you can build it up a bit easier in layers. So it's a little bit stubborn though, blending this one out. Come on. The cat is looking at something on the wall. Why do animals do that? I swear they like stare at something that isn't even there. It's really creepy when they do that. Oh, I'm not loving this shade. This is really difficult to blend out. Maybe this one I should have just stuck with as an eyeliner. Right, I'm going to use some of that lighter brown again just to put that in the crease and hopefully try and blend this one out a little bit more. It's a bit stubborn. Alright, I've got a few like brown shimmers in here. So there's this, oh it's moving, this one, this one, this one, this one. I'm just going to swatch them on my hand and see which ones I want to use. Oh, they swatched really nicely. So the top two are from the top row and then the bottom two are from the bottom row within this palette. So I think I'm going to go for this one and then that one over there, which are the first one here and then the third one. I think those two will be really nice together. I think this one might maybe pull a little bit purple on my eyes. So yeah, I'm going to go for two of the lighter ones. But firstly, I'm going to use some NYX glitter primer as like a sticky base, because these shimmers alone don't seem to show up too much if you just apply them straight to your lid. So hopefully using a bit of a sticky base like this will make the shimmers pop a bit more. Now I did say that using your finger is probably better for shimmers, but I am just going to try with a brush. It's not actually picking much up on the brush. I'm just concentrating this darker of the two shimmer shades in the middle third of my eye. It is building up, but I think I'm just used to using like ABH, Norvina and Modern Renaissance shimmers, which perform a lot better than this one. It's a very pretty colour though. Okay, with the next shimmer I'm just going to use my finger. That's better. Yeah, there's a better payoff when you use your finger for these shimmers, but you definitely need that sticky base. I'm going to use the lightest shimmer, which is this one here, in my inner corner. Having to put a lot of that on my brush. It doesn't seem like the shimmers pick up well at all on the brush. I'm really swirling this in here, and there doesn't seem to be much on it. Yeah, these shimmers, unless you've got a sticky base, are really quite frustrating to work with. But with my inner corner, I can't really put a sticky base down there, so just having to make do with as it is. And then let's use a bit of that dark brown shade again with an angled brush as like an eyeliner. This is turning into a pretty look, but it's definitely not a quick look. Do need to spend a bit of time with this palette. And this shade's working alright as an eyeliner shade actually. This is fairly pigmented. I have had better eyeshadow palettes from Revolution. I do find their eyeshadows are the most questionable in terms of quality. Because like I say, they are a bit kind of hit and miss. So just because something is cheap doesn't mean it's going to be bad, because I've had similar priced eyeshadows from Revolution and they performed a lot better than this one. And then on the flip side, just because something's a bit more expensive doesn't mean that the quality is that good either. So But no, that worked out alright as an eyeliner shade actually. Quite happy with that one as an eyeliner shade. I'm going to go put a couple of mascaras on. So I have a volumizing one at the bottom here, and then a tubing one, this black one here, which is actually a brown mascara, over the top, and then I'll put something on my lips as well. And that's how it looks with a bit of mascara on top, and then lips are Vive Velvet Sands lip liner with Kiko 19 lip gloss. So overall I think it is actually in the end quite a pretty eyeshadow look. I do really like it, and I think the colours all work really nicely together, but it was a little bit of an effort to get there. The mattes were fine apart from that dark brown, which was a little bit difficult to blend but works fine as an eyeliner. The shimmers did turn out to be really pretty, but you definitely need that sticky tacky base, and also use your finger to apply it as well. For £5, it's not a bad eyeshadow palette. It's one that I would definitely not repurchase though, and I don't think I would miss it once I have either, you know, decluttered it or used it up. There are, for the price point, better eyeshadow palettes. I do have a Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette, which is a lot better than this one. But like I say, the look has turned out to be really pretty, so you can create some nice pretty looks with this eyeshadow palette, but it is going to take a bit more effort in comparison to higher price point eyeshadow palettes, for example the Vive palettes and also the ABH palettes as well. But for £5, it's not bad. So thanks very much for watching guys, hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you again very soon for my next one. Bye!